it is becoming likely that Fern and FRIEREN will now go on a journey at some point here, and we have to find something that'll be some sort of thing of immortality or whatever. I don't remember what he said. Something along those lines, and we're going to go out of our way and hopefully find it for the priest, who I think says he wants it for himself, but I don't think actually wants it for himself. I think this is what Fern would want. I think she wants out. And wants to go adventuring and wants to just find purpose as well. And I think FRIEREN is very similar in that regard. So I'm excited, I guess, just to see the direction that each of them decide to go. Exactly how the priest plans to be okay with us doing this as well. I don't think he'll have any issues, but I am interested to see, I guess, the way that they decide to progress the entirety of the story, not the immediate, like, okay, we're going to get with Fern and do this, but more of like, is this like a one-off thing, big time skip, and that she sees these people grow around her? Or is it going to be like, these are the people you're with for the entire journey, and then you're going to journey with them throughout their lives, and maybe it's not just like a 10-year thing? I don't know. I'm curious to see. Once again, this is a Toho show, so likely this will be blocked at some point. When it gets blocked, there'll be a reaction link in the description if you really want to still watch it. If not, feel free to also just stick around for the discussion at some point. Hopefully they don't claim it, but I don't know. If you have any ideas on how I can get around them doing it like everybody else seems to be able to, let me know. I would appreciate that. Let's get going though with episode 2. Wow. Really, truly a beautiful episode. Like, really, really is. The amount of, I guess, just the way it can make you feel for something, not choosing to, I guess, directly touch on a certain topic or use words, but more so just kind of show you and allow you to become immersed in the visuals and the music and everything. It really is excellent. The amount of space that it's being given to kind of just breathe and not feed everything right to the viewer by like verbally stating it is really fascinating. How well done it is too, and it conveys it so much better than if people were to just speak. Like, visually showing you reasons for, I guess, like FRIEREN wanting to, or in the past creating this field of flowers in a way, right? Essentially doing like the same thing, but not actually like stating what she's doing in the moment, but just kind of showing you the joy and the things that others kind of have had around her, and then the things that it makes people like Himmel and stuff say and feel when he sees those types of moments. And it's truly special, like a way to kind of do that. It's something I don't know too often I can recall works so well within a show. I always bring it back to some of the episodes in Chainsaw Man that I think they did such an excellent job of doing, which a lot of people had complaints about because the direction, I guess the pacing of it slowed itself down massively from what they wanted and what was from the manga. But it was like the amount of time we were giving things to breathe and really showcase and bring to life a lot of the environments and the characters as a result was truly great. And I love that just from the direction standpoint of that so much. And it's coming forward again with this show, with a lot of the stuff that I'm kind of noticing and feeling. And I think it makes those moments hit a lot more because it just kind of leaves you to your own thoughts and gets you stuck in there. And it's so good. It really is. It's such a excellent and emotional way to do the episode, and really adds layers in a way to FRIEREN's character, to the priest, to Himmel. Like it really does. And I had my complaints, I guess, throughout the episode, or I said where I wish they gave us some more on Himmel at some point. Like, it felt like we killed off such a good character early on, which makes sense to narratively move us forward. But the amount of things that we're now learning, it's like, oh, he was a great dude that I kind of wish we learned a little bit more about. While he was a big show off, of course, he still was a really kind-hearted guy, it seemed like, and I really wish we learned more. But using the lessons learned throughout FRIEREN's own life and throughout the other members of this party's life to kind of teach the others, the influence that they've had, and teach the others. Now Fern being involved here, FRIEREN being involved to teach Fern, or just whatever the case is, how influential in a way that he was on their lives really is showcasing itself and is special. A way to be able to kind of bring that to life and be able to reflect on that through memories in a way. And these memories are the things that allow you to make them make you feel a bit more, I think, allowing it to be presented right then and there rather than you having to remember what that person was like in the past and relate it. So it's honestly a better way, I think, than I initially was thinking of presenting this. And it's so cool how it's done. Absolutely lovely. It truly is. I feel like I'm struggling to get my thoughts and words together, but I'm so like, I think that was just so excellent that it makes me not, it makes me feel like anything I say from this point and I try and go into is like a disservice to what I watched, into the excellent storytelling in display, I guess, of all that I was able to just witness. And I don't know. I might be, maybe I'm alone in this. Maybe I'm not. But I just, I think that's so lovely. And it does so much for me. And it makes me just like want to sit here and just think about it. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to think. But I make it my job to talk. So here we are. We'll go into it a little bit. I don't know how much. I just got to say, too, I said it in the last one. The food is fucking incredible looking in the show. Like, a lot of times people are like, oh, anime food looks really good. And I've never felt that way. I'll be honest. Sometimes I see things and I'm like, oh, that looks decent. Dude, they're nailing a lot of the shit that they're doing here. The moments of us flashing through the seasons, you know, the cold, the warm, just the different, it's great. And I love how normalized, because of Frieren and, you know, this being our journey with her and her age and everything, I love how normalized it becomes to time skip a bunch, and us just not really be confined into that one time, because now we can kind of expand the universe in a way, this world. We can progress to certain times where there's technological advances. We can advance to times where characters just age and grow, and we don't need to learn too much about them and their experience throughout those times, because it all gets wrapped up perfectly when you just figure out that Freeren's going on journeys here with Fern, and they're just doing like the most basic things and collecting spells and just doing like simplistic things to make other people happy, or even just make themselves happy at the end of the day. And it's like, that's all they really need. So that's all they've done over these years. So there's never been anything massive that have influenced or changed their lives, which is crazy. It's also insane to think about that the priest planned this entire thing out from the beginning and knew that she would be like, I'm not training this girl. So he had this entire thing planned where he's like, I know it'll take about this long for her to decipher this. So if that's the case, I think it'll take about this long for her to be able to learn everything that she needs to and be, you know, good enough to not be holding her back, and they can go out together. And just like, that's insane to think about. So good. Learning the background between the two is really, really sad, but really interesting to look on. How somebody like the priest, who I guess has never really been looked at this way, probably by others or by himself, as the type of person to go out of here and actually like do something like this, take on a child who just lost her family or whatever the situation is here, right? But he chooses to in this moment because he reflects back on what his friend, our hero of the story in a way, what he would have done or what he's seen him do, and the influence and impact that he's had on others and on the priest himself, and took it upon himself to say, I'm going to kind of be reborn in a way, and I'm going to find purpose for myself. I'm going to find my reasons, or the things to kind of keep me going, and share my experiences and these things with everyone else. And it's so funny how it just like all kind of went back around. But the fact that he was able to take on this girl, both of them just kind of going on their own journey and doing whatever they have to. Frieren immediately realizes, like, after she solves it, you knew this the whole time, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. I think she has valid points too with what she's saying here. How she's like, this girl's been good for a while, and you've just passed up all these opportunities by forcing her into this and telling her that she can't go or anything. And passed up the chance to kind of tell her these stories or share these memories and stuff for you to have, and also for you to leave with her going forward. In a bit of a selfish way, I guess you can look at it. Although what he was doing was still a very good thing, I would say. But her taking that, because she's somebody who seemed like she was lacking that, especially when Himmel died, and she's really regretted that over the years, and had lots of those regrets now that she wants to or can see these things, that maybe I should have shared more experiences or tried to understand and learn these people and do these things for them, or just soak everything in that I can kind of do, and have these memories of them that I kind of lost along the way. Also because those are the things that allow you to reflect and have like such a lasting impact on you as a person, as we see this episode, as we see when she flashes through all those memories that she had of him on the first episode, which causes her to kind of break down and cry. Her regrets also in a way of not getting close enough or learning more about him or being with him longer, starts kind of coming out of her a little bit here and being like, you should have spent more time with Fern, which I understand and I accept, but I don't think he necessarily does the wrong thing here. And I think it's a good way of him doing it. We get to see Fern was actually able to be successful. Didn't really tell anybody or say anything, but was successful in what she did and blowing that up, which is fantastic. We pour one out for the boy at the end. We end up seeing the fact that they're able to move all the pumpkins and shit like this. It's crazy to me, and help everybody out. We figured out that she just kind of learns the spells. So the only thing I would say throughout the episode, I don't think I personally have grasped, and I didn't get it in the first episode because I'm pretty sure I'm off of how I thought I was, is the idea of telling the other person that they love magic. I took it as FRIEREN doesn't love magic, but it's just kind of what is kind of come to her easily enough in life, and she's just kind of had it, so she's just using it to whatever she can, like to do whatever. And Fern, the exact same thing, how she just has this ability to do this stuff, but isn't actually like too crazy about the idea of actually using magic or doing anything. But she can just kind of use it. I took both of them to be similar in that regard, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. It does seem like, let me re-say that, I guess. I think that can still be the case, but it seems more so that FRIEREN so much accepted that idea that she uses it to kind of gain these lasting memories and do these things for other people, and she uses magic like in a good positive light instead of using it for harming others or doing whatever the situation could be with that, and views the wonders and like the beauty that magic really can be and the things that you can learn and do as a result of it, being content, I guess, and happy in a way that magic kind of came into her life and was something that came along the way by using the thing and telling Fern like, oh, magic essentially chose her in a way. She could have done absolutely anything or picked up any skills or done anything, but magic was the one that you stuck with for a certain reason because it does certain things for people and for yourself, and it chose you at the end of the day, and you chose it. I think is more so the route that they're trying to get at, but I could be off. It's just not, I don't know, something about it I can't grasp my head around. And that's what I mean when I'm like, they're not directly telling you everything and they're like kind of going around it a bit, and visually just trying to leave it up to the viewer to understand and pick up on, which I appreciate a lot and actually really like. It's just that one I can't seem to click with a lot. We end up finding out that we saved this village a long while ago. So there's a statue, of course. Him will be in the show Bodhi is trying to show off and do these different poses and stuff. Didn't end up happening. So we clear the whole area. We use the skills that we've learned and picked up on before, such as clearing off the rust and stuff of things before. We do it again by clearing off this statue, which is great. Ultimately, it leads us to having to go out of our way and find this flower because we want to surround him with something that he would love and would work the most for him. Big turtle is fantastic too. I love that. These are the shots that I meant when I was like, it really brings to life everything and makes you just like sit back and have to get like soak it all in, of us just like dropping dialogue, time skipping through things, but just displaying and allowing the viewer to grasp enough of what's happening in the day-to-day lives of these people and what exactly they're doing. I love FRIEREN a lot. Like, I love her. She's fantastic. Like, just I don't know, always getting stuck in things, always getting like just always sleepy, always just like, I don't know, she's a mood. I fucks with her. I like her a lot. Fern unable to fully understand here why she's taking the route and doing these things that she is, because she's a little bit stubborn, right? FRIEREN is, at least, and she's a little bit difficult to get into the mind of and fully understand what exactly it is that she's talking about. She's like, you're wasting so much time. You could be going out helping and saving people and doing whatever, right? All these heroic things, but instead you're spending your time just on something so simple like this that you're not even going to get rewarded for, really, in a way. But when you take the time and you properly try to understand the person and communicate and understand where they're coming from, you learn that there's memories in these things that are very impactful and motivate and drive them a lot, that ultimately lead to the things in which they're trying to do. And there's reasons for what she's doing. So ultimately here, in this conversation that she has with Himmel of not being able to go back to his homeland and be able to see these beautiful things in which he wishes that he was able to show her at some point, never being able to, and kind of skipping up on those opportunities that she definitely would have been able to if she decided not to venture out for 50 something years afterwards, right? That she completely misses on, is able to ultimately find them and be led to them and create something so beautiful and be able to see it. And I love the callback, her putting this around his head too. It's so beautiful. I love it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I do justice of me speaking on this or saying anything, but those are just thoughts overall here. I'm excited as hell to get into episode 3. I'm loving so much about what's been presented through the first 2 episodes here that I fascinated to see what's to come next. Thank you very much. If you watched and you liked, please leave a like and subscribe. They do really mean a lot to me. Leave any comments about this, how you're feeling, how great this episode was in your opinion, what you liked, what you didn't, anything. I love reading them. I'll be back for episode 3. You'll probably be seeing it within the same day at some point or the next day. Hopefully you guys have a good one though. Peace.